It's the moment you all have been waiting for. Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. I am Debunked, and today we're going to be debunking a new Clegg investigations video. No, it's not new. It's actually his first video, but it's a new debunking video, so I guess it's kind of new. Now, if we go to Okmulgee Lake investigation, I have a test video here. That's very cool.
Today, we investigate Dripping Springs and Okmulgee Lake.
I have been to this lake, so I know most of these locations. I have actually been here. This is pretty much throughout my entire life. Before I was 9 years old, I think. 9 years old and younger. I actually went here.
Lake
so yeah,
something
I know
sinister that lies beneath.
Like I've been there.
A boat crash killed a 9-year-old boy on Okmulgee Lake. Okmulgee police are investigating a drowning tonight at Okmulgee Lake.
2 Works For You reporter Corley Peel is live at Okmulgee Lake, where they say first responders recovered Andrew's body.
As Okmulgee County's need for water grew, the city came up with the idea to dam Deep Fork River to create a lake. The lake was finished on April 14th, 1927, and was officially opened on July 4th, 1927. Unfortunately, on that day, 2 Okmulgeans died, Mr. McGonigal and his son drowned in the lake. We had 4 points of interest to investigate at Okmulgee Lake. However, being unable to get permission from the property owners of the abandoned church, we were not able to investigate that. The first place we investigated at the lake was a chimney that was part of a cabin that burnt down. According to local legend, 3 people died in that fire, 2 adults and a younger child. I was unable to find actual documented proof of these deaths. However, it did come from a reliable source. We began the investigation using the SLS camera, and we got some amazing evidence from it. The first piece of evidence was a skeletal figure captured to the right of the chimney, just outside the foundation of the cabin. As you can see here, it moves from right to left on the ground as if it was crawling away.
Okay, the first thing I would like to bring up is that most of this stuff looks human. If you've never seen I forgot what it's called. One of these things before. It's it looks pretty much like a human. You can see that there are a lot more points than usual. I don't really know what those are called. But this looks not usual. Now you can say that in a crawling position it looks strange. But this does not look like a ghost. And we can
Away
see
from
that
something.
it has
Acts
very
from right to
strange
left
movement.
on the ground as if it was crawling away from something.
I'll slow it down. This is very strange music. Or movement, sorry. This is not normal behavior.
Thing. As you can see here, the arrow points to the figure, showing that
it completely vanishes. Now you might be able to say, oh, well, it's a spirit, it disappeared. Yeah, whatever. It can be that, it can do that. But, you know, it just... My theory is that it was a stick, because you can see that there's a tree right here.
Arrow points to the figure,
It appears right over the tree, so...
showing that it distinctly moves from right to left. From right to left.
Alright, I'm gonna show it one more time.
The second piece of evidence we got was a skeletal figure,
Very short. You can clearly
this
see
time on top of the chimney.
it's swiftly moving.
You could see it on the mantle. It lunges from right to left as if it was trying to avoid.
And I might be able to slow it down even more. You might be able to see what I'm trying to get at here.
Our camera.
This leg stays at this contact right here. The only times it moves is very small movement. I'd say it moved about an inch, and the rest of the foot just stretched out. Yeah, it could have been that, but
The third thing we captured is a little interesting. We capture a skeletal.
this one is confirmed. It was actually a stick hitting the ground, which means that this isn't the most accurate.
You're lying on the ground, seen
While
here.
being in an interview with my brother,
So, at the time, 4:07, it was, I think, the first time you passed out. I think it was the time you passed out. It says Erika got sick. What exactly happened?
I guess it just felt off and my heart rate went up. And I just kind of passed out. Not entirely sure if it was just my heart or the environment because it felt uncomfortable.
Did you, see anything or anything?
No, I didn't see anything at that point, but it just felt uncomfortable over there.
It's just was it just you? Because you're nervous or something?
I don't know if anybody else felt uncomfortable over there, but I sure did. Even during the day, it felt uncomfortable.
So, you fell sick after seeing a shadow at 5:05 on the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly was that about?
From what I remember, it was just a black mass with yellow eyes. After that, I don't remember nothing.
They just saw gods.
Yes.
That's pretty much all. What do they look like? Do they look like, I don't know, cat eyes or human eyes or what?
I think we did find a picture of what they looked like. I'm not entirely too sure what picture we decided on, but they were yellow, pale looking eyes.
Okay. But the shape though? Did they look like human eyes? Okay, do they look like cat eyes?
Sort of.
What exactly happened there? Did you pass out? I think it said you passed out, but I don't know if that's all. I just wrote down it's getting infected.
Yeah, I think I did pass out, and after that I remember just being home. I don't remember anything after that.
Did you feel a little sick before?
Yeah.
Okay. You might not remember this, but how fast did you pass out after? What happened? Did you fall and then pass out, or?
I think so. I don't remember exactly.
What was about the Moffitt's call? What exactly did it sound like?
He actually texted me and he told me I would be good at practicing black magic and I should meet him at the Okmulgee Lake so I could get tips and stuff.
He said contacted. Did he just text you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did he clarify who it was? I know it was Moffis, but did he clarify who it was?
Yes.
So, the first 3 goats, you did tell me that while you were watching the video, rewatching the video, that one of them was just a stick.
Yes, after rewatching that Okmulgee Lake investigation, wasn't it the first SLS figure we caught?
Yes.
If you pay attention and notice closely, it does map in the stick behind it. Granted, I was wrong. You got me.
Jimmy saw a person walking by. Do you know what the person looked like? Did he describe?
Jimmy?
Details to you.
Yes, he did. Which time? By the wall or the house?
It's literally the second thing that happened in the video.
So the wall, right before she got sick. Yes.
Yes.
That was a shadow figure that had no arms, I believe.
No arms. Erika, did the figure you saw had arms?
Yes.
There were two different figures that night. That's why I asked. The one at the house or the one at the wall. The one at the house, Jimmy described as being a human shape but having horns, 8 feet tall. Now, the shadow figure she would have seen would be different because that is Malphus. Malphus does not look like that. Malphus is a bird-like demon.
Okay.
So, it is believed that there were 3 separate demonic entities there at that night, but we don't know. Without further evidence or the equipment we have now, we weren't able to decipher that.
Didn't you just say there were 2?
2 we saw there. 3 afterwards. She was contacted.
Oh. Jimmy and Brian found the shadow. What exactly did it? I know it was 8 feet.
8 foot tall, human shape with horns. What I call board.
Goes along with here too. Is there anything like suspicious that he said that proved that he kind of wasn't Malphus? Because I think that it's too random. You're going on an investigation at the lake and you see Malphus a ton of times.
Well, we didn't see him.
Well, right. Erika saw him in the past time a couple times.
Yeah, it is most likely the figure she saw was the one that was Malphus.
Yeah, and then she got called saying that she'd be good at black
Texted.
magic. Yeah, it seems kind of thrown in there. It's kind of suspicious that it's just thrown in there after you're inside of an investigation and he clearly knows what's happening.
It was weird, granted. It was weird to go home and then the next day find out that someone texted her claiming to be Malphus. Because Malphus, so we didn't think anything of Malphus, right? All we knew at the point of the investigation was we saw some shadow figures, what we thought were demons. We didn't think anything about Malphus till this guy texts her later and says he's Malphus, or calls himself Malphus, which then it started to click. Which is also around the time she started seeing more birds, specifically ravens, which is what Malphus is known for possessing or coming in the form of.
Right. But how did you feel about the overall investigation?
That was amazing.
Cannot tell if it's trying to map in my figure or if it's mapping an anomaly laying on the ground. The fourth and final thing we capture at the chimney is another skeletal figure on top of the mantle.
You can see most of the skeletal figures have this shadow thing, but the ones I showed you,
However, this time, it almost looks like it jumps at us. Using the Melmeter, we got a few temperature fluctuations and small electromagnetic field readings, but nothing major. Another point of...
I can't confirm that. I debunked this video a while ago. I didn't make a video about it because I was too lazy to make it, but yeah, it was about 2-3 months ago when I debunked most of this stuff. If I don't have an answer for it, I might make an update video, but yeah.
Interest we had was nicknamed The Wall. It was built by the CCC and lost to a fire in the 1950s. It was suggested for reconstruction prior to 2012.
I gotta say something. I've been to the wall. I've been there a lot. My brother, his friends have been there a lot. And if you don't know, my brother is this person. Thank you. So we've been here a lot. So we pretty much know that there's no way this is harm.
But it was never rebuilt.
Harm.
We caught very little evidence of the wall, but the
Let me slow this down. Because
thing that was most
if
interesting...
this is what I think it is, I will show it. But again, I have to debunk this video.
us was a clip on the thermal camera I'll show it to you now.
This is very disturbing music. You can see footsteps, but you can also see someone above it. So, my solution, I'm pretty sure someone was actually standing there, which, caused body heat. And in another video, he stated that, spirits give out a certain temperature. They give out warmth. But here, you see that they're giving out, cold temperatures. Also, can someone please insert the Sean iPhone meme?
If you look to the left of my finger,
You might be able to see this, but I'm pretty sure he's pointing to this. I just noticed I was there right now, but
you'll
always
see 2 feet that are generating very much heat walk past me. What's interesting is when it touches the ground, it also makes the ground below me cold. Now here's a shot of one of our crew members, and you can plainly see their feet here.
Again, in one of the investigations, also known as the last and first one I debunked, they felt heat going on. I don't exactly know how they can give out both cold and hot temperatures at the same time. Can you please explain this, because this is not the same.
Generating plenty of heat, and the ground below it is still warm. However, these feet that walk past me are cold and make the ground.
You can see the legs. So it's either someone very strange walking by, or this was taken, I think, in winter, so it is cold out here for sure. It shows 80, but that's a lie. 80 degrees is cold. You might not be able to know this, but I know this. All jokes aside, it doesn't look very...
Left of my finger, you'll see 2 feet
You can see
that are
it's immediately being covered up by something.
generating very much heat.
The blur that he was doing wasn't very... I don't know how to describe this. Like, he photoshopped it on or something.
Walk past me. What's interesting is when it touches the ground,
Because
it
he has
also
done that. He has taken some of his videos he's made before and completely edited it. So that's why I bring this up.
makes the ground
He knows
below
how
me
to.
cold. Now here's a shot of one of our crew members, and you can plainly see their feet here, generating plenty of heat, and the ground below it is still warm.
Also, if you're gonna assume that's not it, there is clearly something over this, and he's only focused on the footstep. So even if that's not true, it could be a plant. I could say it's moving, but the wind was blowing.
However, these feet that walk past me are cold and make the ground freezing cold below them.
You can tell because you can sort of see movement in the people's clothes.
We caught some other interesting things at
And I remember a storm was coming when this was happening.
the wall, but
I think. This is just my memory. It's probably not accurate because I have the mind of a 200-year-old man, but yeah.
moved behind a bush not far from the wall. Shadowy masked figure moved behind. For instance, one of our investigators, Jimmy, noticed a black shadowy masked figure move behind a bush not far from the wall. 3.
This was late at night. And, yeah, it was late at night. And the thing is that so the thing is is that it's night, right? And there are people that go around, and I have seen guards go out there every now and then. That's what I'm thinking this is. And most of the further evidence prove towards that. So you can see this. First a ghost, buggy transmission, glitch, person walking by, and the next one I'm gonna do is Erika got sick, which is a timestamp. Saw a person and fell, unable to breathe, fell sick.
3 of us went to check it out. Me, Erika, and Brian. Upon investigating, Erika got extremely sick to the point where she was feeling like she was about to pass out. So we headed back to the truck. The last investigation was the old abandoned houses by the lake. We were interested in those because of this report we found online. When doing a street view of the house, we noticed something interesting in the window that wasn't there in any other frames. It looks like what appears to us to be a wedding dress. This could be the manifestation of a spirit who once wore the dress that was seen in the house, but we were unable to debunk it since we weren't able to investigate this location either. When 2 of our investigators, Jimmy and Brian, passed by the house at night, they both saw what they described as a giant 8-foot-tall black mask, same as the one they saw at the wall. We believe this to be some sort of demon.
By the way, Franklin, there is something called perspective. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
We returned to the cabin to experience something we were disappointed we did not document. Both Madge and Erika became extremely affected by something. Madge became nauseated after seeing some figure behind a tree, and Erika became hysterical.
This is kind of off topic, but it's on topic. So I used to be terrified of escape rooms. And this is important, trust me. But there was one in particular recently that scared me. Every single day I felt sick. It scared me that much. It did that for about 2 weeks. It was back when I was like 9 or something. But it was really scary. So when you're in something like this, you know, I don't think Madge or Erika was scared or anything, but they could have been. You know, with all the proof they've gotten, and with something, as you say, as sinister as this, it's a possibility.
After spotting some black masked figure in the woods.
That simply happens when, while I said it in my first video, it's all explained by anxiety. Yeah.
We don't know what exactly happened, but we knew it was time to get out of there and leave the investigation. Little did we know, it wasn't exactly over. The next day...
Oh, well, I forgot. It's not anxiety. Never mind.
Our investigator, Erika, was contacted by someone who called himself Malphus. He told her that she would be good at black magic and tried to get her to meet him down at the lake at night. Oddly enough, Malphus is the name of a demon mentioned in the 16th century book of magic called the Key of Solomon. He is known for his building of stone structures and the destruction of them as well.
That's Moby Dick.
Okmulgee, Oklahoma has a lot of dark history. History we've just begun to tap into. This will definitely not be our last investigation in the town. Okmulgee?
Oh, well, I have 2 issues with that. First of all, there are people walking around at night. You're talking about this like you don't know that people come at night. People do come. It might be closed off, yeah, but people do come at least just to walk around, you know? And if people are just walking home or walking somewhere they need to go, then it really works and people are alive. You need to remember, people still do walk out here and you're not alone. Unless you got the owners of this lake, which I don't even know how you knew, who seemed You manage to find them, you manage to be able to talk to them, and then you manage to persuade them to, close off all of that. People still need to get home. So even if people aren't gonna go near you, there are still gonna be people there. And even if they're not close, shadows can still be there, which explains the shadow figure. While talking to Erika, she did explain something like this, and she got really nervous. And then she ended up passing out, and she got a little sick. Now, during this, it was very interesting, because, the interviews were very interesting. But, the interviews didn't really help me in the making of this video. Well, I did do them a few months ago. So, yeah. I hope I wasn't put on there. Well, if I was on there, well, we're not doing interviews because I want to try to hide my face. If not, I can still just blur me out or put a box over me. But anyway, so that was the video. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit post notifications if you want to see more content like this. And if you especially want to see more content like this, please leave a comment, because I am exploring between a lot of things I want to do, and this isn't one of the only documentaries I'll do. There are a lot more coming, and I am excited to show all of you these. But without further ado, I'll see you in another video. Or, as Franklin put it,
be our last investigation in the town.